What if I told you you could get a proper Velcro display dash with over 20 LEDs for rev light counting inside an aluminium and carbon fiber case for less than 600 Australian dollars? You'd say I'm pretty crazy, right? But Simcore have come to the party and they've delivered with the DS5 Dash. G'day guys, Chris from Racecraft Simulations. It's been a little while since we put one of these together. The last time you saw us was with the SimVertex H-Pat shifter. But now it's finally time to do the review process for the Simcore DS5 Dash. Made in Australia with some pretty decent quality and a great brand reputation to boot. I'm expecting big things from this dash to probably rival what was already my favourite from Apex Sim Racing's Porsche Cutworks DDU. So let's get into it, and straight away we can see the Simcore box. Pretty well done. Usually we buy some of the sim racing gear and it comes in a crappy natural looking or just plain old white box, but on delivery of the Simcore it looks pretty good, and even they're starting to get into these crazy little messages now. All the sim racing companies are doing this, and for them, for Simcore, it's your journey begins here. So let's crack her open and see what is lying in front of us on our journey. Now on the surface, Simcore have they've even gone inside here. Never underestimate the radical vision. Or never underestimate radical vision. That's pretty cute. Good job from Simcore. A lot of the companies are really stepping up their game now with their presentation for the product. So we'll check this out and see where this kind of lands in the thing. And Johnny's going to hate me because I'm unboxing a dash that's not mine. But the first thing we get here is this bracket. Now that is carbon fiber, and that looks to be, Johnny was telling me this is a universal bracket that can fit anything from Fanatec to Simucube, SimMagic, even anything that's got that simple front mount setup on it. This bracket will go straight on. So no longer do you have to buy a dash with a bracket to suit your specific sim wheel. If you've got a pretty general industry standard sim wheel like any of our InSource or SimMagic or Simucube, this will bolt straight on. So that's pretty cool, and it's great that they supply that, and it's carbon fiber as well. Next to that, we've got a bit of hardware here. I'll see if I can crack this open without splitting the bubble wrap and ruining it for whoever ends up buying this one. Inside the second bubble wrap bag. Oh, now this is cool. Alright, so a couple of Simcore stickers, that always goes well. A hardware bag that's got some thumb screws, some countersunk washers, and a couple of T-nuts if you're bolting this to extrusion. So very well thought out here from Simcore. This part I like though. A lot of sim companies in the industry tend to neglect the USB cable. When you buy them and you get something that looks like it's come off the $2 parts bin at your local PC hardware store. But this looks like high quality, and it even comes with a Velcro strap. Now this is very Corsair of Simcore. If you've ever done a Corsair PC build with any of their power supplies or cases, you get a branded, labeled Velcro strap. That is super cool for your cable management, so that's cool. And then the cable itself, really nice quality. It's got that fabric braiding around the outside, USB-A to a 90-degree USB-C, assuming that goes in the back of the dash, and it's got some length to it too. That goes longer than my arms can stretch, so that's got a very decent amount of length to it. So from where you're sitting in your rig, you plug I believe the USB-C into the back of the dash. I don't think the USB-A would go into the back of the dash, and it can run all the way down to wherever you've got your PC sitting for most generic users. That's very cool. So very good on Simcore to supply that as well in the bags. Now we'll take off the next layer of foam and the next layer of foam after that, and in this paper protective bagging now, or the wrapping, even got the Simcore logo in the bottom. That's cool. So very well done from Simcore on the fit and finish and their packaging. That looks very cool. Get them out of the way because we want to see what's in here, and I'll just move these aside. And this is what we're really here for. Now I'll try and unwrap this without getting too excited and ripping the, this is like this new perforated paper packaging stuff that's meant to be more environmentally friendly than bubble wrap, but we still have bubble wrap. So we'll get that out of the way. And in here is the Simcore Dash. Careful with the tape. And out of one bubble wrap, into more bubble wrap. So at least you know it's well protected in the shipping process. Make sure it's out of harm's way and not going to get beat up and damaged. And now out of the bubble wrap and into a bag. It's like layers here. How cool is that? It's like when you go to Oakley store and you buy a nice pair of sunglasses and you get a cool baggie like that. With the branding again, another big tick for Simcore. We open up the bag. Oh, it's nice and cold too. It's been sitting in the workshop. In the bag as well, look at that, Simcore. That is beautiful. Whoever designed this needs a raise. Full aluminium CNC machined enclosure all the way around the back, and then a carbon fiber front plate. Your Velcro display, I think it's 850 by 450 Velcro display. Plus then you've got your rev lights, and they've been cut into the carbon fiber, so I assume the LED board goes through the back there. You've got, 15 rev lights across the top, and then 4 on each side. The Simcore laser engraving on the top, and there's no jacks on the sides or the bottom. It's straight to the back, which for most users is going to be the most common place where you plug it in. And I was right, it's the USB-C. So having that right angle USB-C plug, if I grab that from the lead, where it plugs into the back nice and, well, that's satisfying. It's a satisfying little click there as well. Where it plugs in, there's not too much room needed behind the back of the dash to be able to fit this onto your rig. So very good idea from Simcore to make it like that, and then you can cable manage with the supplied strap and everything you need. In the back here there's 4 holes. Now I believe if I carefully put this down, if I spill out the hardware, we've got a couple of T-nuts, a couple of really low profile socket air cap screws, a couple of countersunk screws, 2 thumb screws, the countersunk washers that go on the screws, and a couple of the smaller versions of the countersunks as well. But in the back here, so it looks like these little thumb screws go into 2 of the 4 supplied holes in the back of the dash. So you've got a couple of different height adjustments. And now this is the supplied bracket. So if we were to put this down and put the supplied bracket on, it lines up with all 4 of the holes. Now you don't need to use all 4, you only really need to use 2. And there's enough clearance in there that you could actually walk the bracket around just to get your angle positioning correct if needed. And as we've said already, this bracket seems to be universal. So you no longer have to order specifically for your wheelbase. You don't have to go, oh, I have a Fanatec, so I need a Fanatec bracket, versus if you have a Simcube or anything with the front mount bolts, you need to order that kind of bracket. This seems to be pretty universal and can do everything. So that's a big tick in my book, because no longer do suppliers have to carry stock of the various different options so that you can be satisfied as a customer. They just need the 1 unit. And they keep the 1 unit on the shelf, and then you walk in and say, I want the Simcore Dash, and they say, here you go, and take it. The fact that it's coming supplied in various colors as well, there's a whole bunch of different colors, reds, greens, blues, yellows, plus what everyone really enjoys, the black one. That's really cool as well. So big tick on the unboxing. I'm very happy with how this looks. We're going to try out a couple of mounting options with the bracket, and we do have a little extra as well if I set this down as well, because Simcore, along with the universal new bracket that comes with the dash, they've come out with a new version of their LAV1 mounting system. So this is their new revised, I'm pretty sure it's still called the LAV1. I'll update that before we publish the video, but this is their new modular LAV1 bracket system. So the same design as their bracket here, it's got the same slotted holes with the various holes for the front, so you can mount it onto Simcube, SimMagic, ImSource, any of your front mount bolts, plus your Fanatec bases. This will bolt straight up, and then it has the same kind of extensions. You can use the angled doodads or even the long extensions to fit onto your wheelbase and put your dash wherever you may please. The new LAV1. We'll be doing a sub review inside this as well, because I'm going to be mounting this Simcore DS5 Dash with the new LAV1 onto my setup at home, and we'll be trying it out. So one of the cool features that comes with this that isn't necessarily the dash itself, now keep in mind this has got a couple of marks on it, this is my personal one that I'm using at home lately, is the new bracket. So the carbon bracket that we mentioned in the unboxing is now universal, and it's really simple to mount up. This is my SimMagic Alpha Mini from my home rig, and it's as simple as just lining it up. For the SimMagics and the ImSource and the Simcube, you can just line it up with the corner holes that you would use for the front mount. If you're using it in a front mount configuration, you just get a longer bolt and just put it at the front of where the bolts would run through. And you can bolt it up nice and easy, and you get it mounted. Now, with the standard bracket supplied, it also does have the extra holes to be able to mount it to other wheelbases. That's what makes it so easily universal. From there, you can just get the dash itself, use the supplied thumb screws, poke the thumbs through the back, get it lined up, and it's a really simple yet effective way to mount your dash. Now I'll get this mounted up real quick. Now this comes supplied with the dash, so you don't need to go spending any extra money to get a mounting solution. But the one issue I noticed when doing mine was the fact that it doesn't sit below the bolts. So when you're mounting it up, it does foul on the bolts. Now you could try and use some spacers, some washers, and some slightly longer screws that go in through the back of the dash mount to try and get that spaced away from the bracket, so then you're able to drop the dash down below in front of the bolts. Or if you want the ease of use and serviceability, you could go for using the LEV1. So as we showed you before, the Simcore LEV1 comes with the universal standard bracket, and you can set it up. And the beauty of the LEV1 as well is you can get the angle adjustment brackets, and then you can get the length extensions. So that allows you to space the dash away from the wheelbase. You can angle it at any angle you want. You can lift it up and dogleg it, really to suit however you want to set it up in your simulator. But as a whole, the standard supplied bracket that comes with the Simcore DS5, really nice and clean and really flush. I'll take this apart right now and we'll check it out. We'll bolt up the LEV1 and I'll show you how that looks. So the beauty of the LEV1 mount is it's really adaptable, nice and easily bolted onto the back of the dash here. You set your thumb screws off in wherever you want to be sliding this in and out, and it's just a simple matter of sliding it down and nipping up the thumb screws. This allows you then to use the thumb screws on the back, and you can lift or lower the dash to suit whatever you need. If everything's on a little bit of an angle, you can set the angle as you need as well, nip up the thumb screws, and then it's set and ready to go. It makes it really easy if you're multi-purposing your rig. If you've got a rig that you want to have the dash on, but you might occasionally use it for a flight sim and the dash doesn't really suit that, back off the thumb screws, away comes the dash, unplug a USB cable, put it to one side, and then it's nice and clean on there. It really also makes some adjustability when you want to use the angled arms and the extensions, but for some wheelbases where they have a really short axle like the Sim Magics, I don't need to use these, because if I use these, then they'll hit my wheelbase and it really negates the purpose. But if you do have a long extension, or if you're trying to mount your wheelbase behind your monitors and you want to get the dash in front of the monitors, using these extensions is a really good idea. It's just a simple matter of bolting them in there. They hang off the front of the LEV, and then you can set the angle, you can move the height, you can push the dash way out, you can get it exactly where you need it to be anywhere in your rig and have it sitting in that perfect position to make the simulation feel really good. So the LEV1 mount, the new fully modular design, is an absolute killer. I've been loving it on my home rig. And for when I want to watch movies, or if I want to do video replays and I want to watch any of my old races back and this is getting in the way of seeing what's going on around the car, this is a really, really neat feature that I can just back off these two thumb screws, get the Simcore dash out of the way, and get on with my day. No really having to worry about moving things around and unbolting them and having to get them back in the right position. Two thumb screws and I'm good to go. Alright, so I've managed to take this home and I've had it on my rig for a couple of months now, and it's been a little while because I took this home and put it on my rig and I didn't want to take it back off. I was having so much fun using it and just getting my rig sorted based around the Simcore Dash. I've shown you here what you can possibly achieve with the LEV1 extensions. These are the double angle mounts, and I think that's the 50mm extension, if I can eyeball that correctly. You can stand it up, you can angle it out, you can then set the angle to adjust it further however you want. You can really put the dash wherever you like. This is a really good addition if you've got your sim rig set up so that your wheelbase sits behind the monitors and you use the LEV1 extensions to get the mounts coming out from under the monitors, stand back up and get your dash to sit behind your wheel but in front of the monitors in that premium position. If you're really chasing that ultra nice ergonomic feel in your sim rig, that's where most people tend to be landing, just like what we've got here in the PT1 rig with the SimuCube wheelbase down and behind the monitors and big extensions on the wheel axle to get the wheel back to the right position. If you want to use the dash, the LEV1 is exactly what you need to get that done, and the modular brackets just make it so much easier to mount any dash, not even just the Simcore DS5, to mount any dash to your rig. Definitely a worthwhile investment. But back onto the dash itself, because that's what we're here to review, the Simcore DS5 is an ultimate piece of kit. I said back in December and January when I was reviewing the Apex Sim Racing Porsche Cupworks DDU that this rig, that unit was so good that I was going to have to buy it, and I did end up buying it from Johnny and keeping it on my rig for quite some time. But when I got this Simcore DS5, Johnny had been teasing me about it for a little while. I put it on my rig and said, okay, it's time to sell the Apex Sim Racing one. Now, there's nothing wrong with other units on the market, but this just fits exactly what I'm after, with more LEDs and a sleeker look that can fit more than just looking like a Porsche. It kind of fits in wherever it goes, and for under 600 Australian dollars, the DS5 is exactly what you need. Taking it home and getting it set up is really simple. The Velcro drivers are really easy to get installed. You can go onto the SimHub websites, you can go onto Race Department, you can download any of the amazing dashes that the community members have created. There's a whole bunch of people who dedicate their time in the community to helping people out, and they'll make various dash displays that you can load into your SimHub profile that will replicate certain cars. You can even get some really big files that will actually sense what car you're in depending on what sim title you're racing, and will change the dash look to suit the car you're driving. It's super cool. And I tip my hat to anyone involved in that community who makes these dashes, because they do it for free. With a little bit of donation, you buy them a coffee, send a couple of dollars their way just to help them out. It's a really killer way to help out the sim racing community. I personally use a modified version of a Giuseppe Curry version dash display here, but the all-in-one dash that is on the Simcore website that he links to it there is a really good starting point as well. It has everything that you absolutely need. It works across Assetto Corsa, Automobilista, and even iRacing. It's a great start. One of the downfalls though was there was no supplied LED profile when I got this dash, so I didn't have anything that would drive the colors coming up from the 23 LEDs that are on this rig. So what I went and did is I went and wrote my own, and I did write it based off what I'd really liked from using the Apex Sim Racing Porsche Cup Dash. I went and modified what I had there, and I've saved that, and I'm really happy with the LED displays that I have for my Simcore now. I've shared that with Johnny, so if you really want to get that LED profile, you can get in touch with Johnny. He might send you my way, and we can get you hooked up with the LED profile to drive these on the DS5, but otherwise, this is an absolute killer unit. For less than 600 bucks, you cannot go wrong, and it's an absolute worthwhile investment for your sim rig. So that's a wrap on the Simcore DS5, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and from Racecraft Simulations, we'll see you next time.